It's been a very painful tattoo. It was really deeply a penance that I wanted to pay for having not been there for my brother. My friend Haji always asked, "Do you like it?" And I tell him, "No, I hate it. I hate it because I wish with every ounce of my being that this tattoo didn't exist, that this conversation wasn't happening, that this wasn't the reality of my life. I wish my life was different."
I've seen police look our way and shake their head. We're not going anywhere. You can shake your head at us all you want. You're gonna have to stand me. You're gonna have to fathom my rage until we have justice.
My name is Zaira Livier. I am co-founder and director of People's Defense Initiative. I shy away from describing myself as an activist most of the time. An advocate for human rights, I prefer.
The Free the Children Coalition stands united here today, demanding an end to Stone Garden Federal Grant Program in Pima County, which leads to racial profiling, leads to more detention, leads to more deportation, leads to more permanent family separation, which is what deportation is.
What Stone Garden is a grant that's given to border counties. Under that grant, Pima County Sheriff's Department deputies double as immigration enforcement agents.
And it's time for us to say no. Thank you.
Organizations joined together and decided to lobby the hell out of the Board of Supervisors and put out an all-out reject Stone Garden funds campaign.
That's a pain I don't wish anyone ever has to experience in their lives. I was 19 years old, and I had to fight my mom's deportation case. All this because local police collaborated with Border Patrol.
It still baffles me that people like myself and like my camarada here have to stand in front of crowds to go, "Hey, look, we're human and we hurt," just like you.
I'm from Querétaro, which is just north of Mexico City. My mom was born in Querétaro, my aunt was born in LA, so we have a long history of traveling back and forth. Eventually things at the border changed. My mother needed to get us to Tucson because of a family emergency, and they wouldn't let us cross because we didn't have a visa. We were caught over and over and over again. It was my mother and myself and my brother. My aunt was like, "You know what, we're just gonna walk in." I was holding a juice box and we said US citizen and they let us through, and that was that. The trick was to not look like immigrants and to know a little bit of English. My mother and I have been here ever since. My brother was deported some years back.
The United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, so we'll get started with quick introductions. We got a racial profiling, law enforcement, and community partnership committee, which I am the chair of right now.
This time next week, I will be at the White House chairing a panel discussion with sheriffs and ICE and Border Patrol national representatives. So your voice will be heard a week from today at the White House.
Being there across the table from a person who really wants a grant and you saying you're not gonna get it, and he's the highest law enforcement official in our county, it wasn't easy and it was very stressful.
There's a lot that good that has come out of this. What I don't want us to do is to transfer those monies over to people we can exercise no such relationship with, which is where those monies will go.
I'll give the sheriff credit. He is a person that you can have a conversation with. We got a racial profiling policy. The sheriff's department had never had a racial profiling policy. So all in favor?
Yes.
All opposed? Aye. Okay. It was a beautiful thing. We were the only county in the entire United States to turn that down. For the Bernie Sanders campaign, I just founded and created a group called Latinas for Bernie Sanders. That was the first time that I ever volunteered my time to anything political. That primary was coming to a close. I was approached by a Phoenix group who was putting Prop 206 on the state ballot in 2016, and that is the minimum wage and earned paid sick time initiative. Vote yes on Prop 206, show up, vote, and rebel against the establishment that is working really hard to get you to stay at home, okay? We passed that overwhelmingly. That campaign changed my life. Trump also won. I was devastated, so I think I was in bed for like 2 weeks. And then I got up and I started organizing around immigrants' rights. We're finally seeing that we're building some political power. The Democratic Socialists of America, at least the folks here locally, are young, they're in college. They're itching to work on something. The ground is ripe in Tucson for young, progressive people like us to go in there. Being a grassroots organizer, I learned so much, and I unlearned a lot of things. One of them being change happens from the top. That's not true. The Democratic Party is a friend. That's also not true. That Trump is the boogeyman and everything's his fault. That is also very much not true. Obama deported millions of migrants. He deported my brother. His name was Memo. Once he got older, he wanted people to call him Saeed, but I've never called him that. We grew up and we both had our behavioral issues. When I would get mentors and teachers that wanted to help me, he would instead get suspended, sent to juvie. He ended up getting in trouble right when he turned 18. He didn't hurt anybody. He went in for 6 years. By then, we were permanent residents. My mother had married. He was freed from prison and then imprisoned immediately in Florence, and he was deported. Not only do they kick you out of your own home, but then you go back to the country that they say that you belong to, and that country also doesn't want you. So 5 months ago, he was shot and killed. He was executed in an alleyway, basically. The terror of that entire experience will never be lost on me. I didn't think I was going to do the work anymore, to be honest. It's really hard work, and you hardly ever win. And while you're fighting it, people are dying. I just never thought my own brother would be one of those statistics. I hadn't felt anything other than deep grief and sadness in a really long time. I go skydiving and I feel nothing until I'm up in the airplane right next to the door, and then I jump, and halfway through I finally feel something. I was terrified, but also felt like I was alive and well for the first time. Having seen how ugly and tragic death can be, I have a deep, deep respect for life, one that I didn't have before.
We want justice! We want justice! We want power! We want power! We want justice!
Life is as beautiful as it is cruel.
No más muertos! No
And my work will revolve around trying to tear down the systems which contributed to my brother's death, and there were many. There were a lot.